tax evaders, heroes of the NFL, Ray Lewis, Jamal Lewis, Ben Roethlisberger, or hip-hop superstars, DJ Drama, T.I. At night, he puts his children to bed by practicing his closing arguments. This began years ago as a stratagem to avoid reading Berenstain Bears books aloud. We owned the whole skinny paperback collection, the Berenstain Bears and Too Much TV, the Berenstain Bears and Too Much Junk Food, the Berenstain Bears and Too Much Birthday, etc. Donnie said the books were boring, but I think he didn't like Mama Bear being the fount of wisdom, catching and scolding Papa Bear when he crept downstairs late at night to watch TV during No TV Week. Donnie may have felt that Papa Bear's transgressions struck a little too close to home, and he doesn't like to see people like Papa Bear get in trouble, even though he has spent his entire career with people who are in deep, deep, deep trouble. "May it please the court, ladies and gentlemen of the jury," he boomed as the children snuggled happily under their covers. Seth, on the top bunk, got knocked out instantly, but Molly, on the bottom bunk, tried to hang on, sucking the middle fingers of her right hand and watching wide-eyed as Daddy patiently explained the actions of the accused arsonist, drug dealer, or kidnapper. After Molly conked out, Donnie turned to a jury consisting of Raggedy Ann, Neil the Bear, Pluto, and a stuffed eagle, their button eyes luminous in the glow of the Jack and Jill nightlight. A pleading note entered the counselor's voice when Raggedy Ann, clearly the jury foreman, refused to make eye contact, always a negative indicator of the jury's state of mind toward the defense. When Molly was 6, Donnie invited her to attend the trial of a man accused of training his pit bulls to attack and fight. Molly got dressed up, and we drove to the DeKalb County Courthouse. She sat up alert and curious through the testimony of witnesses and the prosecutor's closing argument. Finally, the great moment arrived. It was Daddy's turn. Daddy, in a suit and tie, stepped to the front of the courtroom. "May it please the court. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury," he began. Molly slid her 2 fingers into her mouth, sucked hard, and toppled against me into a deep sleep. When Lee was little, he'd answer the phone and yell, "Daddy, it's for you. I think it's a criminal." At the start of the adoptions, when the presence of Bulgarian Romani and Ethiopian children still felt a little surprising, Donnie referred to their end of the upstairs hall as the International Concourse. If one child was complaining and another one piped up, Donnie said, "Oh, great, another country heard from." Now our family is so diverse that our cousin Julian Haynes suggests that I call this book "Why Our Babysitters Are Entitled to Peace Corps Credit." Our son Seth proposes, "We're not a youth group, damn it." Or, "The Phylogeny of My Progeny." My friend Andrea Sarvati, who was aware that, to our surprise, we ended up raising sports stars, nominates The Jewish Guide to Raising Star Athletes. Julian returns with Leveraging Love, How to Choose Your Favorite Child During These Hard Economic Times. In July 2007, the 11 of us flew on a plane together for the first time, because 2 Ethiopian brothers, Daniel and Yosef, 13 and 10, had joined the family 2 weeks earlier. At the Delta check-in desk, 8 minutes into our first public appearance, a stranger approached and said, "Excuse me, miss, I think one of your students dropped a mitten." Mitten? I thought. In July in Atlanta? Are you kidding me? Later it hit me. One of your students. In flight, a middle-aged African-American businessman leaned across the aisle to ask our son, Lee, "What's the name of your organization?" Lee said, "The Green Samuel family?" Disembarking from the plane, the businessman tapped Donnie on the shoulder and said, "I'd like to shake your hand." At baggage claim in Santa Fe, a frail, elderly white couple from our flight made their way toward me on walkers. "May we ask you a question?" said the old woman in a quavering voice. "Are you a scout leader? Because we were always very involved in scouting." I'm raising 2 generations of children. With mothers my own age, I breastfed my babies and wore them in inward-facing pouch slings. They slept in the family bed and played with hand-woven dolls made of 100% organic Egyptian cotton, and with smooth, colorless wooden blocks that left everything to the imagination. Now, in the vineyards of parenting with mothers and fathers 10 or 20 years younger,